Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm opening up about why I walked away from the real estate industry for good. I know for some people, real estate is like the ultimate dream, and I've been through some of the real nightmares, trust me. By the end of this video, you'll understand why I finally said enough is enough. Now, I am no stranger to hard work, but the real estate, that's a whole different level. I was overworked, expected to handle huge client lists, endless paperwork, showing with zero support. And for all that hard work, my paycheck could not even barely cover the basics. Like, if you know the Nigerian currency, at that time, my pay was about, they actually promised to pay 50k in Naira, and as at 2018 thereabout, at least that was an okay amount, unlike now that the economy is trash. But then it was actually, at least for a starter, it wasn't so bad. But they ended up, let's say 1 month, the first month, at the end of the month they were supposed to pay 50, as I said, but they ended up paying 25. And even that 25, they'll say, okay, if you came late or if maybe you defaulted in one way or the other, they'll even still cut it. So you can imagine how they expected someone to actually live off of that. It felt like I was a machine to these companies. They didn't even bother about, the person in question. It's just get it done. That was their problem. And the worst part, you guys will not believe it, the people I had to deal with. Now, let's talk about the men I had to pitch to. Some of them thought I was there for anything but business. Imagine giving your all on a pitch, and instead what you get is, inappropriate offers. It was just so wrong. Like, these were daddies, people's parents. That way, like the companies we went to, especially the government offices we went to, were filled with older generations. So you can imagine the amount of, like, how would I say now, the amount of sadness I felt, because these are people that we were supposed to look up to, that were supposed to at least, be a father figure or an uncle or someone, and just imagine the kind of, like, do you know that out of 100, at least 99, I think the 1% maybe just brushed it off. Maybe they weren't just interested in real estate. But the ones that even weren't even interested, plus the ones that were interested, all went down to the inappropriate offers. Like, it's either, in fact, there's one that was so embarrassing that went straight up and said, you know what to do if you want me to pay for this thing. Like, so you can just imagine, like, who does that? And it was so amazing. And if it was just maybe one person out of a bunch, I would say, okay, maybe that person had a problem. But this was like 99% of the men. And I kid you not, I pitched not, in fact, well over 200 men, like, because we went out almost every day to different, agencies, different parastatals, different places, and so you can just imagine. And it wasn't only just the clients, you won't believe it, even the bosses. Guys, the 3 companies I've worked with, even the bosses, same story. I had advisors higher up asking me out, and it was as if dating them was part of the job. They blurred the lines between professional and personal way too often. Like, it was so embarrassing. In fact, the last one, I was so shocked because he was very, very stern in the face, right? And he now, before you know it, he started talking about, when I follow him to Lagos. And that was like, let's say, well over a few months into the job. So I already, he was very feared. Anytime he was around, everybody come. And this was somebody that even made it unbearable for us, because they moved from Lagos to Abuja, and then he brought this whole Lagos mentality of going very, very early. In Abuja, people normally go to work by like 9. There are even some parastatals that you see them go to work 10, 11. But anyways, most times the standard one is 8, 9, at least 8, 9. That's what, most Abuja companies work with. But he came with the whole Lagos hustle mentality that, oh, if you don't come there by 7. So that means you can imagine, and people like us that were living far away from the office, we had to wake up as early as like maybe let's say 5:30 a.m. to get ready, because we had to use the public transport. So you know how public transport can be here. They can delay your time. So if you don't wake up that early, you will not even meet the time. And then he set the time at 7 a.m. So you can imagine living in a place where there's no traffic, there's no, there's traffic that early morning, but especially the saturated time of 8 and 9 that I said most people go to work. But around that 7 that he goes, of course, the place, in fact, sometimes if maybe we were having longer nights, shorter day, you see that the place is even still dark when you're, running to work, and there's literally nobody outside, just you. Oh, it was, so imagine someone like that puts you in that kind of situation. Now I'm coming to come and tell you this kind of thing, that, oh, you follow me to Lagos and something, I'll help brush you up, and then just making petty promises and saying that, oh, if I do those, if I agree to go on the journey with him and everything, that he'll teach me to get better clients and blah blah blah. And at the end of the day, we will, is it something about he'll show me the ropes, and if I agree to get closer to him. So just imagine. It was, guys, it was really crazy. Now you might be thinking it was maybe, just men. But the women, on the other hand, women are not your friend. At least that's what I learned in that particular industry. Because if they're not either jealous of you, they're like trying to make the job very, very uncomfortable for you. And I don't know why women do that to each other. Like, it doesn't make sense to me at all. You would think they literally, this outing that you might go to an organization, like, I'm sure I'm not the only one that can testify to this. Like, when you walk into maybe an organization or a company, or you even just maybe walk into somewhere and you need help and you see a woman and you're like, oh no. Because they always have a problem, and I don't know why. There were women in that industry who had power to make a difference, but they just weren't friendly or supportive. Some even, seem to give advice meant to hold you back instead of actually lifting you up. I had one woman that, I brought this, okay, she was the HR of the company, and I brought my complaints about, okay, what I was going through with these men, and, what they were telling me when I pitched to them, and what some of them were trying to make me do. And then she blatantly started telling me, or advising that, oh, I'm still young, so there are some mistakes I can still make, and I can still, try to, how will I say now, do some of these things, and because it will also be of the betterment of me and of my career in the job. In fact, it was crazy. Like, I was just bombarded. I was amazed. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it was actually very amazing, because, like, what you say? Oh, excuse me? Oh God. You guys, it was like everyone was just on survival mode and wanted others to stay at the bottom. Honestly, that's how it felt. Ha! But the real wake-up call, the last company I worked for was actually caught selling fake lands. And this was like, they were caught just a few months after I left. The whole operation got busted. They packed up and disappeared overnight. I literally dodged a bullet. Oh my God. As in, when I heard it, I was like, stop. I was shook, because I was this close to closing a deal with one guy, the one of that 1% I told you about, that at least did not make too much trouble for me. And it was like, so imagine if he had done, where would I even have started from? I would have ended up in jail, honestly. But for what? Just trying to make an honest living. Like, crazy things are happening, guys, in this, like, crazy things are happening. I know there are some people that have a different experience with me, from me, but I know that there's someone out there that also experienced this, and God, this video is just to just help you know that you're not alone in this. So I left the real estate behind for good. The industry wasn't worth my integrity, my peace, my freedom, and I'm telling you, all this, I'm not even telling you all of this to scare you. Honestly, I'm not. Maybe there's somebody out there that has their dream and everything. I'm not telling you to scare you. I'm just I'm telling anyone out there who has the same experience, and just be reminded that you should never compromise your worth or values for the job. Or even if you've not started and maybe you come and have a similar experience, just never compromise your worth or values for the job. If you're in a similar situation, don't be afraid to walk away, because at the end of the day, just like what almost happened to me, you can end up in a position where you will regret. So yeah, don't be afraid to walk away. Thanks for listening to my story. If you had a similar experience, or if you just needed a reminder, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos. I would like to be sharing more about my journey and my tips to, making money without compromising yourself. See you in my next video, and thank you for watching.